Okay. What's up? What's up? What's up, people? Welcome, welcome, welcome. You are now tuned in to Starter Bench, the best Chelsea-themed live stream that allows you, the viewer, and us to interact and pick our teams, pick our starting lineup with this Chelsea interesting mid-season squad, new manager, long lineup. We got a lot going on. It's your boy Matt Marshall. I'm here with my co-host, the wonderful, mystical, magical, unmistakable Alexis White. What's happening, Alex? How you feeling?
Hey guys.
Alexis, 2 games into the Liam Rosenior leadership. How do you feel? What does it feel like?
I just literally froze because I'm like, what does it feel like?
What does it feel like? How does it feel?
I still think it's way too early to tell. I think there were some good takeaways from the Arsenal game, to be honest. I think there were some good takeaways, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's way too soon to tell.
Way too soon to tell. Yeah. I agree. We are going to talk about the Arsenal game. That's like the only one we can talk about. Charlton 5-1, easy
Right.
kind of easy road. We talked a lot about Rosenior and his tactics and whatnot, and how they were different. Did you were you able to already see that in this Arsenal FA Cup match?
Yeah, definitely. I could see that. And I'm not too sure if I think the result actually would have been different had Maresca been in charge, because I think he just would have made crazy subs. Like that's kind of what I know him for. And I will congratulate Rosenior on making a sub early, and it was an impact. And I also thought it was wise to not really tamper with anything, in my opinion.
Right.
So I thought that was a good decision.
I thought the team selection at first was a little off. I was interested in certain aspects of it. Others I was a little confused about. I'm not gonna lie. Mark Diu starting, but maybe that's just an FA Cup thing. There were different things here and there. But yeah, like we saw. Obviously we'll bounce around, but let's just get into it with the Arsenal game.
Yeah,
we saw him make a big change where we essentially went 3 in the back. He brought on Tosin, and I thought that was, we're all afraid of Tosin. But
no, I thought that was wild.
Yeah.
Before we get into that game, though, let's tell our audience just a couple things that we're going to talk about for the show, and then we'll talk about the Arsenal game for you guys. So today we're kind of going to unpack long are the days where players started each game, and want to kind of compare football back then a little bit to how it is now, and just an expectation that we can kind of set with who's going to play in this game, who's going to play in that game. Because I think early on in the season, I think we just assumed that, okay, this is our core and it's
going to be our lineup.
But obviously it's all over the place. And then we'll also talk a little bit about Brentford, the game coming up, and just a couple things to look out for.
A lot to look out for coming soon.
We can talk about Arsenal for sure.
Yeah. Let's go with Arsenal. We got some folks in here. I just want to remind people we have a cool survey. We're going to be kind of doing like a start, bench, sell kind of action with these players we have on this squad as it sees now. So if you want to participate, you can always scan this QR code. And if not, if you're watching on YouTube, which everybody is because Instagram is not working right now, you can check the pinned comment, or you can take a look at these instructions down here to come participate. So we'll be talking about that after we talk about the rotations and Brentford. But yeah, let's start digging in with Arsenal. Like
speaking of the rotations, because I know you're going to talk about that formation. It's important to know Palmer was gone, Reece was gone, Caicedo was gone, Gusto was gone, and Lap. And Arsenal had about 8 of their starters playing versus us, we had about 5 or 6. So I think that's something to take into consideration.
100%. Yeah, I think I didn't realize what was wrong with the Lap. I know Rosenior had talked about Cole. Yeah, he got sick just before the game, whatever. Guiu, it looks like the profile of striker that Delap wants is a Guiu Delap. Like, and obviously we saw Cole Palmer is out, so maybe that's why João Pedro is playing the 10. But I really do think João Pedro is going to be having to compete now in the 10 with Cole Palmer versus playing forward.
Because we saw over the past couple games that Delap does bring a lot more strength than João does. I mean, just physicality wise. And even when you put Guiu, again, I'm not vouching that he should be the one starting, but he still has more physicality than João. I think João is definitely more shifty and technical, but we probably do want a stronger striker playing up top.
Yeah. Especially if we're going to be playing these like short passes in the back and then trying to get an outlet up front. And
the hold-up play needs to be on it. And I understand that decision. I thought it could have been worse. I think personally, without the goalkeeping errors and having our own players, I think we would have been okay, to be honest.
Where are you with Bob Sanchez now, seeing him kind of revert back to what we've seen in the past? Like, this is really maybe one of 2 games that we've really seen him with serious, like, legitimate goalkeeping errors. Is that just a kind of like, all right, bro, like, dust off your shoulders, shave your head a little bit, lower?
Right. Yeah. Go back to laser. I honestly just I highlighted a couple players, and Rob Sanchez was one of the ones I highlighted. I put that he had an off game. If I'm being honest, I think that would be so harsh of us to say, oh, he's reverted back to the
get him out. Yeah.
Like, let's be real. He had an off game. He's been pretty world class this season. Like, we can't lie. And then I thought it was interesting because Rosenior, when asked about Rob Sanchez, Rosenior says that he takes accountability for all mistakes on the field and that his goal is to help Sanchez and not blame him. Yeah. And he added the fact that he did have a fantastic save in the second half. I just think if I'm being honest, those errors, they can't happen at this level. They can't
not against
level.
Not in the semifinal, not against a big team. Yeah, it was horrible. Yeah. I'm a little on the fence. Like, I'm worried that maybe Maresca had done something, even in the play style to help kind of clear Sanchez's mind. So now that Rosenior has back to, all right, we need to bring that keeper in. He needs to be playing with his feet. Yeah. Maybe it's kind of clouded him.
For some reason, last game felt way too demanding on him footwork-wise. I thought we had settled on the fact that, like, he's really not great with his feet. So I just felt like the last game was so demanding on him to do all these back passes. It looked horrendous back there.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and it wasn't just him. It was the center backs. It was the wing backs. We weren't. Obviously it didn't turn into an immediate goal, but we definitely turned the ball over multiple times around our own box. That's not what we want. We've seen that before.
Just the playing out the back. Like, it is just so unnecessary. That is absolutely killing me in the game right now. The desire to keep possession back there.
Yeah.
When typically, I feel like that's one of the most leading errors to goal is trying to overplay out the back. I don't enjoy it.
I'd prefer a balance, to be honest. I'd prefer a balance. It looks like, obviously, we see exactly what he's trying to do. Again, we're not getting the ball wide, even if we are getting the ball wide, it's really to quickly play it backwards and play it through the middle. So all these things that we read and that we saw about how Racine is going to play, we were seeing that. And again, to be fair, Arsenal really weren't troubling us outside of these kind of set pieces and, small turnovers in the midfield. So if we get that right.
I feel like Arteta pretty much gave the command, like, hey, press them back there because Sanchez is shaky and he's not good with his feet. And they did that. And I just think personally it's mid-season. I don't know if we have time to
implement a whole new strategy.
Exactly. That's how I felt. Is I'm like, okay, I understand we're starting over with a new manager, but I just don't think that in this position that we're at, I just don't think that's wise. Because it can cost us for sure.
I agree. I totally agree. We're gonna have to see how it works because obviously he's not backing down from that. He wants to on it.
I wanted to also highlight, so just 3 other players I want to highlight. We can talk about Esteval.
Okay. Yeah.
He was a problem for Timber.
Esteval is him now. Like Esteval is our new golden boy. He's him, we're like, he's going to have to be, I know Maresca was trying to like ease him into the Premier League, ease him in, but it's like, he's shown that he's here for the big moments. Win or lose. There was a point in that game where it was 2-3. We were in the 80th or so minute, and he was offside, but he got the ball. Yeah. And when he got the ball, there was passes he could have made. There was overthinking he could have done, and he said, "Nah, bro, I'm him." He cut in and he shot, and it was a great shot. It was a great save by Kepa.
Yeah.
So I'm willing to say like Esteval is my starting right back for real.
And he's the most creative on the ball for sure, and he's fun to watch. So I think you're going to get more of an atmosphere with the fans when you keep him on the field, which I think would be good for the whole in general.
Yeah. How does that look when Cole Palmer comes back instead of João Pedro? How did you think João Pedro did? How did you think he did in the middle?
How do I think who did?
João Pedro.
Ooh, honestly, I don't remember him much. I don't know if that's good. Who I do remember is Enzo in the middle, which
Enzo played well.
I have to say he's been world class this season.
Okay. You're throwing world class. She's throwing world class around. We already have some comments.
I'm gonna glaze him.
Yeah, the glazing, and I know you've been ready for it. And I was actually expecting more of a Garnacho glaze from you today.
Oh, he's next.
Oh my God,
he's next.
But even on the point of that world class, maybe I won't go there. But he's solid, and now I've kind of gone from does he fit in this team to, especially with Racinha's kind of lineup, like all right, he is now him, and when Caicedo gets back. It's gonna be it.
I gotta be real. Real Madrid is eyeing him. So,
he would actually work really well in Real Madrid, and this would
and PSG is
with Racinha's kind of lineup of him, really in the midfield and not out of position in the midfield as like a defensive midfielder. He'll be good. You threw world class again in the comments. They question you about Bob Sanchez world class, but I kind of want to back you up on that. Even despite the mistakes, which were absolute trash in that game, he had one save.
Yeah, I know.
That was cup saving, to be honest.
No, he's very good. Last season he was atrocious.
Yeah.
He's been very solid this year. I mean, even the stats back him. I think the reality of it is I do not think he fits in a team that wants to play out the back. I don't think he can meet those demands. He is not good footwork wise.
Yeah. Like he can play those balls out to the wing and to the wing backs, and that's about it. But to like continue to recycle through him, he just doesn't feel confident enough,
No, definitely.
Yeah.
And a little bit more on Enzo. I just think he gives us so much control in the midfield. His half-turn distribution and helping on defense is being noticed. And he keeps the ball. His ball retention, like I know early on, I for sure had issues with him, but like I can't say since I had those issues, like his ball retention is low-key crazy. Like I can't lie.
Yeah. I also want to say and shout out because you haven't, and I'm not sure if you were gonna mention him, but Andre Santos, under his former coach, he can play in that position, and he did well as well. Like the midfield did their thing, you know, to be missing Reece James, to be missing Caicedo. They did their thing.
And I think, say what you're, yeah.
No. I just wanted to say we have some new folks popping in, so I just want to shout them out, let you guys stay. PT1640, he said, are you guys from the U.S.? We are from the U.S. We're Chelsea fans living in L.A. Mm-hmm. This is Starter Bench. This is the world's best interactive live stream. Tap on in, scan that QR code, or follow the instructions. We're going to have a survey for us all at the end of this, at the back half of this. So come on in.
I also think Enzo has helped us with some stability, given the fact that a lot of our players are not starting each game. So I think he's helped us with stability. And honestly, he is kind of like the glue to our wingers' attack. I say that because of his switches and his balls. So I think he's been top. He's been top this season.
Yeah, he's going to be a lot more important in this lineup than I think. And I'm curious where that will land Cole Palmer once he's back. Obviously, Racinia's spoken everything about Cole Palmer and how important he is, and how we had to let him kind of rest so that we can hopefully get him back for this game. So we'll see where that goes.
Lastly, let me glaze Garnacho. Yes, if you guys don't know me, I will support Garnacho.
You're a GG, the Garnacho glazer.
A brace in a big game.
In a big matchup,
In a big game. He's had 2 braces in the Carabao games, which I know it's the Carabao Cup, but this was
this is the second
brace. He's been fantastic. I thought he was a great substitution by Racinia early on. I think it could definitely be up for debate. Are you going to play Garnacho and Esteval or Neto and Esteval? Because Garnacho, I think he puts himself in better positions. I think he gives balls in better positions, and he puts himself in better areas.
I agree with that. If it was Neto on the end of both of those goals, they're not going in. Neto is industry. He's just going to give us, like, he's that senior player who will work hard, who will, run for us. And, and he produces as well. I think even a couple episodes ago, he was the highest producing attacker that Chelsea had this year.
Yeah.
So it's not that he's not him.
Exactly. It's on the eye. It's like, it's, a little bit predictable, but, he gets things done. Yeah. And also Garnacho, no Premier League player has scored more goals from the bench this season across all competitions. From the bench, no Premier League player has done that. So credit where credit's due.
No, yeah. I mean, those goals were huge. That changed the whole dynamic of the game. So I will give him that. I don't know if I'm even willing to start him yet based on those performances, but definitely, he is. I think he's done now more with those 2 braces, even though they're in the Carabao Cup. I think he's done more than Sancho did for us last season, and we're halfway through the season. So. Maybe that's something to say.
I think he's got 6 goals, 3 assists this season. I think he's exactly what he needs to be this season, which is an impact player. And let's leave it at that.
Exactly an impact player. That's all we need, an impact player off the bench. And that's what Esteval was supposed to be, but now Esteval in my head is a starter. Yeah. Hey, Reese fan has given us some trolls.
I see him.
We're all everybody's world class when they play well, and then they're shite when they're not. But
he says, according to you guys, 70% of the Chelsea squad is world class, but in the last 10
head-to-head matches, between Arsenal and Chelsea have not won one.
What you're saying is a fact, yes, but also I think if you ask anyone, which we've done this before, if we go band for band with squads, we do have top players.
I would take more players on Chelsea than, I think I'd take Declan, maybe Saka.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't. Trossard didn't do too much. I don't want to hear nothing about Gyökeres. That was a tap in based on us giving him the ball.
He's been mad.
I had folks talking to me, Glock's busting.
I think Trossard. I think he's fantastic. I think the thing that Arsenal has, let's be completely honest, is they have better squad depth. We don't have that same depth in the sense of I think Arsenal's subs are way better than our subs.
Yeah.
To be able to flip between Marino, Trossard, and Zubamende and things like that, that's depth. Similar with Man City, I think we have depth, but by having a lot of players,
right.
A lot of players doesn't equate depth.
No, absolutely. Having a lot of young players who don't quite know their roles yet and they're still fighting for positions versus Arsenal, like everybody knows where they are. Exactly. I thought Eze would be starting by now, so I thought that's interesting.
No, I know, which is crazy that you even have that option on the bench.
Eze, Madueke on the bench, like
So I think like we definitely have top players in comparison to Arsenal, but if we have to play our subs, which is pretty much what we had to do this last game, then you can clearly see the holes. But again, I don't think we did that bad. Considering
I agree. Not to mention, I mean, Esteval had his way with Timber on that left side. Like, like there were certain battles all over the field where it was like, nah, we got better players, bro. Like just and we're not even playing our like all full lineup. So there was
we definitely don't have that same reach as Arsenal can, because the fact that Arsenal could probably play their second team and still be completely fine because they have a system. They have
it's very defensive. It's not very flashy. It's not. I mean, their last goal was really good. I'll give them that.
Zubimendi, he's so good. He's definitely been, I feel like, probably their player.
He's a huge anchor for them. Him, Marino, like more of the unsung guys. You know, good for Odegaard for getting back in the starting lineup because it really looked like his spot was getting ran. But it wasn't spectacular, and that's the thing I want to like hammer home. They're winning because they're consistent. They're not spectacular. And maybe that's a facet of the modern game right now. Like you need to get defensive. You need to pull out wins. You need to win headers on set pieces, whatever. But when it's pound for pound. All right. So to cap off this Arsenal kind of review, what are your thoughts on the odds of us actually coming back in the Emirates and getting a win and trying to steal this Carabao Cup, get to the final? Do you think it's a possibility?
Available, I think that's definitely possible for sure. Yeah. If we can actually get everybody available and not do anything stupid like go a man down and things like that, then I think that's definitely possible.
I do too. All right, let's move on. We're gonna get to the survey, guys. Again, go ahead and scan this QR code or look at the instructions. But before we do that, we have Brentford coming up. We're gonna start with the Brentford topic.
We'll start with Brentford then.
Yeah, let's start with Brentford.
No problem.
And Brentford's got the second best goal scorer in the Premier League right now. They're 8 games unbeaten. They lost only to City in the last 9 games, something like that. And they've only drawn a couple of games as well. So they're like on a tear.
Yeah, they're digging out results for sure.
They're pulling them out. They're scoring goals. We played them earlier in the season. I wasn't very impressed with them, but they still pulled out a tie on us. At their house. So what are we expecting at the Bridge against Brentford?
So a couple facts right now. If you guys don't know where they're at in the table, they're 5th. They've got 33 points, or 8th at 31 points. So obviously getting those 3 points is really important. Igor Thiago, who's got the second most goals right now compared to Holland, his conversion rate's actually at 32% versus Holland's at 24%. So right now he's actually
the most informed striker.
Yeah, he is the most. And I think something to watch out for Brentford is their goal right now is they are trying to get behind right from the long goal kicks. So what happens is long goal kick, flick, and you've got Thiago running in behind.
Yeah.
Which
is our kryptonite.
If we think about Cucurella and he got that red card against Harry Wilson running in behind, I think this is something we have to watch out for. Yeah. I think our center back choices will be really crucial because his plan is to just get in behind from these long kicks. Someone's going to flick. Either he's the one flicking or they're going to flick, and he's going to get in behind. And he's been so clinical. So I'm concerned for our defense. I'm hoping we have a good pairing. And just things to watch out for, his movement in behind. He's got good box movement and he's physical.
Yeah.
He's physical.
Yeah. Those are the things that like I worry about when we have somebody like Trevor Chalobah behind or Tosin if he starts. Hopefully Wesley Fofana is feeling good after that game and can get up a bit because I think he has a lot more awareness in terms of counterattacking. Like Chalobah be lost, Tosin and Badiashile, I can't even talk.
I just hope that's something that we are aware of because we have not been defending well off of set pieces or things like that. Yeah. So I'm hoping that this is something we are alert with. Like he's scoring goals.
Yeah. He's clinical, and much in the form of Harry Wilson as well.
Yeah, same thing. So again, like, let's make sure we're marking properly, because we can't afford that. It's like,
and not giving space in the box, right?
Yeah, the inconsistency, and I would say almost like the clumsy errors. Like, some of the errors that Chelsea do are just silly errors. Like, like they almost show a lack of experience, which again come from us being young.
Yeah, we aren't experienced.
Yeah, I'm just hoping that the center back pairings, we can figure that out.
Yeah, and and to your point, and that's great, like, analysis, like, for people who actually watch ball, like, to know that we have to be so worried about this player running in and behind and being clinical. Like, Brentford, we're gonna claim possession. I mean, shoot, we claimed possession over Arsenal last game, so we're gonna have that.
It's so tricky, the keeping possession, thinking that wins games. I think it's interesting because, Brentford last year, they actually had Wissa and Mbeumo, and that pairing, they were getting like 20 goals apiece. And now for Thiago to already be at 16 is crazy.
Yeah, they're figuring it out, and they're above us, and they're only 2 points ahead of us. So
this might be a game that requires good tactics.
Yeah,
like when I look at kind of how they're trying to get their goals from, because again, they're not a crazy prolific team.
Yeah.
So I think that this might be a game where tactics really do matter.
To your point on tactics, like, do you feel, after watching Maresca ball for so long, do you feel that there is a little bit of a, like, certainly in the pressing at least, but like, do you feel that there's some kind of offensive resurgence? Did you feel like we actually looked like we wanted to score goals? Because I felt like there was Maresca there wasn't like that.
Yeah, I would actually agree with that, because I think something I had read on a little bit earlier was that Rafinha does give his offensive players a little bit more freedom, and I think we were able to see that with Esteval, with Garnacho. Garnacho had a sequence where he was just cutting in and actually dribbled all the way up. So I think if we're going to allow that type of freedom, then we're gonna
have some opportunities. Yeah.
Versus Maresca, I think his desire was just possession. But it's like, we want shots on goals. We want to be in good areas on the field.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna see what the rotation is. It'll probably be, I imagine, up to 6 players different in this game than in the FA Cup game. But you had something to talk about that kind of rotation in general, where Rafinha said it himself in interviews. We've heard it. Like, what are we really going to expect in terms of, like, our squad depth and what we'll see from every 3 days is a new game.
Yeah. So obviously we've got a ton more games, and we've just got so many different competitions. So I wanted to kind of bring up, I guess you could say, like, a topic called ever-present starters. So this was a term more used to describe people who are playing. There's 38 league games. So around like 35 to 38 league games. So in the Chelsea era, around 2004 to 2017, you had players like John Terry, Frank Lampard, Peter Cech playing 35 to 38 games. So you had, I guess, more of like a spine. And then you see in 2017 to 2021, there's only players that are playing 30 to 35 games versus 35 to 38. And that's players like Conte and Rudiger. And now, since 2022 to now, there's almost 0 ever-present strikers. So that's 22 to 30 games that maybe a player is playing, as opposed to 35 to 38 or 30 to 35. So ever-present starters just aren't really a thing anymore. Back then, it was fitness and tactical consistency that was more important, versus now it's load management.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just the amount of games, the injuries, the stuff that's just popping up. You need these deep. Yeah, it was funny you mentioned it, and I'm thinking, like, Man City, who were kind of not the best Man City you've seen, and still they've brought in Semenyo, and now they have Doku and Semenyo on the wings.
I know, and they just got Mark Gahey,
is now committed. Like, that's
which is again way more depth. And I think what's interesting is for us as fans, we want to see some tactical consistency. Yeah. But and I think this also comes from having a manager longer, like Arteta being on his 6th term and things like that, and Pep being out, that gives you tactical consistency. So now, as Chelsea, we're too concerned with load management that we don't even get that tactical consistency, especially with the shifting of managers.
Facts. Yeah.
So I think our expectations and some of these reasons for all of this is like structural reasons, like we can't have ever-present starters because there's more games, injury prevention, there's different pressing intensity. There's also new rules like the 5 sub rule, which were things that just weren't always present.
Yeah.
So I just think football has structurally moved away from that model.
Yeah.
What it looks like is, I guess, a team like Man City and Arsenal pretty much having 2 first teams, you could say, with how the reflections are.
Yeah, they definitely. I mean, again, it's not much of a difference when you start Eze and Madueke and Trossard versus Martinelli and Odegaard.
Exactly, which is, I think, what we want to be, but we won't be able to be this because we talked about our ownership. Our ownership only wants young players, this and that. So that's ideally what we would want. And what we're seeing in football is how we saw earlier, like, why get a Hugo Ekitike and an Alexander Isak? Oh, because the demands of the game are different. And now you're not looking for that person who starts every single game. You're just looking for like another starting team.
Right. Another player who can fit that exact same position in the same way. I'm a little worried though, like offensively, that all makes sense to me. Mm-hmm. Defensively though, I still see the best teams in the world,
right?
Including Arsenal keeping their same center back, barring any injuries. Yeah. Obviously, they've even had injuries. Yeah. They're moving Timber from the right to the left, and Calafiori's out, and Ben White's back, and all that stuff. But, like, the center backs are the center backs, you know what I mean? And we don't even have kind of a starting 2 center back. How do you feel? You mentioned that from City's standpoint. We've mentioned Mark Gahey being kind of like a, possible thought or a target. We just need a center back, an experienced guy who is Prem ready. Did you feel any kind of, like, drop or any stab in the heart when you saw Gahey went to City?
I think we should have snagged him. Fabrizio.
20 million, by the way.
20 mil. I know, said 20 mil. I'm like, are you kidding me? Again, this just shows Chelsea is not in the business of being serious anymore.
Yeah.
Long are those days of Chelsea being serious. Yeah. And the last thing I was going to say just about like how we're trying to manage these rotations as a club right now is because of this, we don't have rhythm. And it's like, I read something, it's like a confidence volatility as well.
Yeah, 100%. You have to be informed. You have to know what you're doing every day. Arsenal know how they're going to and want to play every day, regardless of who they play.
Yes. So I think in order to get some sort of consistency, we do have to play. At least some positions can't move. Some positions they just can't. And we need to have players who can meet those demands, or we need to have backups who are just as good.
I think we're okay in the midfield. We have some serious problems in the center back positions. Wing back is also. Oh, we didn't talk about Josh, and I just want to mention him one time. Yeah. Great job coming on that right side and playing. Overlapping. He had a shot on goal. He was doing his thing. So, I think he's up there in terms of a quality secondary option, and I'm excited to see more.
Yeah, I think we just didn't have so many people. Like when I looked at it, I was like, oh shoot, where's Gusto? Okay, we don't have Reece, so it's like, yeah, that was a lot. Like, it could be worse.
Yeah, exactly. It could be, yeah. It could be worse. I'm interested to see how Rosenior uses Reece too. I think we're gonna see midfield Reece, like legitimately.
Yeah,
we'll see. Yeah. Rosenior, he said all the right things. He's kind of wooed us over the course of these first 2 games, this first week and a half. Where are you with this? Like, are you sick of seeing him in the media now? Do you want him to just kind of do his job and go? Or is like everything he's saying is still amazing and we're rocking with him?
Some fans, they call him, the English fans are so harsh. They're calling him a glorified PE teacher.
Yeah, that's wild.
Crazy.
That Arsenal game proved that he's more than that. His subs, his management, the way the team fought and played.
I did really appreciate the subs like that. Yeah. Definitely the sub early I thought was smart. There's just some players who I just don't want in a Chelsea jersey, but that's not going to change.
Well, it might.
That's not going to change.
It very much might, and I'm glad that's a perfect segue to our interactive segment of the day. Again, you guys watching along, go ahead, go on your devices wherever, minty.com, type in it 1627, or you can click the link at the top, the pinned link in the YouTube chat, 1627. Hold on, I'm going to type it myself so we can vote. We are going to do a starter bench for some key positions and players in this squad. Should look like this. Come on aboard. Let's see. Alexis, we're going to do this rapid fire. Okay. We're going to just go, and I just want you to tell me who you think. The categories are essentially three. It is, here, we can already just go ahead. We're going to do main rotation, cup rotation, or prepare to sell. You are Liam Rosenior. You're seeing what your squad is looking like right now. Obviously, you can't sell immediately. You're going to have to look towards this in the summer. So I want you to kind of project forward, too.
Okay.
We're looking at our keeper, who we just said was kind of world class up until this last game this season. What's Bob Sanchez's future like for you, Mr. Rosenior?
I love the jersey, the pink jersey, the practice kit is
that's
me. I love that. Sanchez's main for sure.
Yeah, Sanchez's main rotation, certainly for this year.
First came, he was actually good too. It was just, I'm telling you, it was last season was atrocious.
Yeah,
and I just think again, the modern game is wanting goalkeepers to be good with your feet, which I guess should be a requirement for just being a professional footballer. But he's great. He just is bad with his feet.
Yeah, and he just needs, I don't know if he needs some of that.
He just has some bozo moments,
right?
Like,
I don't know if he needs that Aaron Ramsdale medication or something to keep him focused, but just super bozo moments.
Weird,
super bozo moments in distribution, but worse off, just like in that Arsenal game, in saves that you can clearly make. How do you make world-class saves against, whoever it was, Zubamendi or whoever made that shot, Marino, but then just bobble it? So, yeah, I'm with you on that. Let's move on because I just want to add one more keeper to it. We saw both players have played under Liam now, one against Charlton, and he made a crazy mistake too. Wow, you're ready to get rid of him. I can't think of a keeper we can bring in, so I would say cup rotation. I would have said
Gallagher. Remember I told you that?
Yeah, that's true.
Now he's starting for Brentford.
It's funny, Kepa, on Arsenal. Kepa's trajectory, leaving us, going to Madrid.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, what a crazy. That's kind of crazy. I don't want Kepa back.
Starting keeper to reserves
for Arsenal, but that's how it is. Spanish keepers, they're up right now. And honestly, I think if we're being honest, David Raya might be starting for Spain, but I think Bob Sanchez is actually not too far behind. So he's a good player. Jorgensen, I think.
I don't know if I would say all that.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
I think that would be not good.
We'll see when World Cup time comes around. Look, I'm not a big Spain fan, so Bob Sanchez want to do that.
He's only good on our team when he's good. I don't know if that translates to Spain. I wonder how many caps he even has for Spain.
Yeah, that's actually a good question. That's a good question. But Jorgensen, I'm not convinced, unfortunately. So
go somewhere else. Get more playing time.
Right. Benoit Badiashile.
Oh,
where are you at?
I immediately tap pink.
I said cup rotation because I just don't think I don't like knowing how Blue Co is moving. Like, I don't know. We need some kind of backup support, but he's definitely not in the starting rotation for me, and for you as well. But you're ready to get rid of him.
The thing that I really dislike, though, no.
You can finish.
The thing that I really dislike is I feel like maybe managers don't take into consideration their dominant foot and where they place them within the back line. So it's like having Kukurea on the left-footed, I think works well. And I think it's like you have to put Badiashile on the left,
right,
not on the right. Like,
yeah.
So when those things happen, which again, as a professional footballer, you should be able to do all of this. I'm talking about just the fact of who we have on our team.
Agreed. Yeah.
That's just so frustrating, especially when you put Chalaba on the left. He played left back last game.
Yeah. That was really
is crazy.
Different. Yeah. It was weird too because we had pushed who I guess it was Hato at the time had gotten pushed all the way up in the middle, and we played basically 3 in the back, which for me kind of showed Raciniers gumption. Like we were down 2-3. We want to go get this game. So we ended up playing a 3 center back scheme and then pushed I guess it was Josh Still on the right and whomever on the left all the way up. So I thought it was interesting. I was like, oh, okay, I'm seeing like we want to go and get these games. So I liked it. I will say Badiashile is the reason for the 3rd goal. I wish I had a video here, but essentially he was sitting back in the box and there were 2 winger, I think it was Garnacho and our wing back, whether it was Chalaba or Hato, were defending the ball, and they were pressing, playing 2 on 1 player, and he was able to slide a ball right into the midfield. I think it was Odegaard who picked it up, but Badiashile kind of stayed back and it was Zubamendi, because he allowed Zubamendi to kind of dribble and find his way into our box. So had Badiashile stepped up on his man, it would have been different. Huh?
Chalaba's barely good enough.
Yeah, Chalaba's barely good enough. I guess he fits our main rotation. It's not, it doesn't make sense to keep him in the practice squad unless we get some like serious center backs. So I think
the comment saying what happened to that Brazilian striker who was scoring in the Club World Cup. That would be João Pedro, who has a 10 for us right now.
I think he was okay. He had some moments in that Arsenal game, but yeah, it's like we don't know where he plays. Tosin. I think I'm going to go ahead and say what I have to say about Tosin. That's an absolute.
I'm being kind by saying cup rotation, but I am ready to put pink jersey.
I'm ready to get him out of here. I'm sorry. Like even compared to Badiashile, like it doesn't make any sense. And Lion, it wasn't the first team, but it wasn't the first team on account of injuries, not because we were rotating people for the Carabao Cup. We just had a lot of injuries, and center back wise, we played the players we should have played. We just then brought in Tosin, brought in Badiashile. It was tough. João Pedro, we're gonna have to see. We're gonna have to see where he fits. Wesley Fofana, I think this should be an easy one. He's a main rotation player. He's still, again, I just can't wait to see him back with Colwell.
I was thinking the same thing. I can't wait to see him in Colwell. That would really be some good stability back there. I think that would be fantastic.
I'm very interested to see that. We got Colwell. He should be coming back in the next 3 or 4 months, but I don't think we'll play him this year at all. Joshy, where are we at with him?
Cup rotation.
I agree with you on that one.
Just only because of his youth, not because of his lack of talent. He just needs more games, needs more experience, and he'll be just fine.
I agree.
And again, you can easily see a team like City swooping him up and saying, hey, come follow our plan. Come follow how we do things. And I think that's where it's like Chelsea as a business right now, you have to be careful. I know you're trying to keep players' profit value high, this and that, but you're just going to keep getting like disciples in other places. Like we do need that in a way, if that'll ever happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's one of our youth that we want to keep, academy product, I think. Hopefully Liam just keeps him engaged. And again, I agree. When Colwell comes back and we're a little bit more set, he gets into the cup rotation and then he really kind of comes into his own. We'll see a lot of that. Again, guys, you want to participate down here, you can do it. Jorel Hato, where is he for you?
Cup rotation.
Okay. I put him in the main rotation just because at some point we're gonna have to rotate. Like if I think about a Malagusto, I think Hato is the left-sided Malagusto in that way.
I just really don't want to see. It's tricky because it's like for wingers, you want the opposite foot on the opposite flank, but it's like for wing backs, you actually don't.
You're
not going to be cutting in. So for me, I don't want to see Gusto on the left. I really don't. He
absolutely not.
Doesn't work.
No, please no. So Hato, we keep him. This is an interesting one. This is a very interesting one, and I'm gonna have to go ahead and say my piece on it.
Wait, what? No.
Yes.
What?
Unfortunately, we've given you 2.5 years, my friend. You've just
Oh.
proven, what is the best ability in football? Availability. If you can't stay on the pitch healthy, bro, like I can't do anything for you. I do think we saw very brilliant moments of him and Caicedo, probably 3 games max. And it looked great. I've been praying for it for so long, and it just doesn't seem like it's happening. Now we have Andre Santos kind of coming into his own. Caicedo and Enzo are fixtures, so it's like we're gonna have to.
When fit, he is that exact replacement we want.
Absolutely. I'm just, and again, I've never questioned Reece James' fitness, and he's been out way longer than Lavia, but Lavia just hasn't. His productivity to fitness ratio is like crazy. You know what I mean?
So, yeah. No, I think that is
it's unfortunate. I'm a big fan, Lavia, but it's just unfortunate. We got to move on, to be honest. Just a couple more. We're not doing the whole team. We're just doing some key positions. This is an interesting one, huh?
Oh my gosh.
Proliferation of Garnacho.
Sell.
Esteval. Wow. Sell after 1 year. I'm putting him on the rotation squad for now. Yeah.
I think now I can confidently say I don't think he was ever meant to be. I don't know if he was ever meant to be the replacement, but I can confidently say he's nowhere near Nani Madueke.
Yeah.
I guess some people may argue he was never supposed to be the replacement anyways, but I think it's like that is the goal. If we're going to sell Nani Madueke.
Right. We sold him. And again, 50 million, we got some great money for him.
Yeah. And Sancho and things like that. It sucks. Sancho's kind of one of those players, like, he might just be a player who doesn't have a set team in his career.
Yeah, he might be bouncing around Jesse Lingard style for try to go and get, try to do something in the Prem, which he hasn't done to this point, and then go to Saudi is my thing with Sancho. Plus, he's always in the news, his headline. I'm hearing more about, freaking Saweetie than I am hearing about him megging people on the
Wait, he was Saweetie?
Reece fan wants to sell every player. Remember, Reece fan used to be a Reece hater. So right. This is the biggest one right here, and this is our last one.
He should have already been sold. Poor guy had to come back.
Yeah. And again, we didn't mention, but Facundo Buonanotte, we've again, we never used him, so it's whatever.
That was the biggest waste of his time.
Waste of our money.
I feel for him. Like that was the biggest waste of time for him. Poor guy.
Now reports are saying that he's going to Leeds on a permanent. So we'll see what that is. Not going back to Brighton. So we'll see.
Popped off at Leeds. You've got Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who
you got Calvert-Lewin going ham. You got
the 4th top goal scorer right now.
Brendan Aronson doing his thing. Like, if he comes in and kind of stabilizes that midfield, maybe, I don't know. It might be something. Reluctant Gamer saying, what's up? We appreciate everybody in here. Lion says, sell Fernandez. Hold on. Let me see some of these comments. Sell Fernandez, PSG won him. Wow. Enzo is not on the sell list.
No, Enzo's proper Chelsea for me.
And that's coming from me. Yeah, well, maybe one day, maybe we win the Champions League and then he can go on to Real Madrid or something, whatever. But I think Enzo is here to stay for sure. Reese fan says, why do we hate Philip? We don't hate him, but he just doesn't have enough. He doesn't have enough good games under his belt for us to really put him in.
We need, like, the thing is, I feel like as a keeper, there has to be a game where you're being talked about. Like, oh, he was on it. And I think, again, I'm not gonna throw out world class because some people feel a certain way about that. But what I will say is there's been a ton of games this year that we've been able to say, oh, okay, Rob Sanchez was on it. Like his name is included.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, I've seen Jorgensen make some good saves, but no. When Rob Sanchez is focused and bald and all of that, like he's the man.
Focused and bald.
That's all we need. Bald Bob Sanchez. Rabataha says Fofana wasn't that good, and the only thing I'll say back to you is, have you seen the rest of our center backs, brother? I don't know.
It's tough here, but no, Fofana's top. He's good. He's very good when fit.
He's good. Predictions for tomorrow's game. Wow, today's Friday. Yeah, tomorrow's game, 7 a.m. at Stamford Bridge, 7 a.m. West Coast time. That's an afternoon game. Wow, what is all this? Realistically.
2-0 Chelsea.
2-0?
Yes.
I'm taking that as well.
If there's anything we need right now, we need this. The thing is, I promise you, it's like for some reason, if Rosina can't get it together in 5 games, I could see the board just sacking him.
Yeah. We want to keep Liam in, at least for now, because you're right. Again, his first two games, a win and a loss, weird showing, but not bad showing. So we'll see it. I want to see. I'm hoping we'll see what the press conferences say today, but I'm hoping Cole Palmer will be back and ready for this game.
Yeah, getting a little knock, and
then all these nicks and knocks and stuff.
I know. I'm like, what happened to when football players used to be fit
all the time?
The tactics, like we're talking about. Like,
I'm not going to say it yet, but I do think at some point we're gonna have to decide whether or not we need to be worried about Cole. Cole is.
I've been saying that.
Exactly. You have been saying that, but I'm finally
he's been too glazed for me, in my opinion.
He's just been too ghost this year, like way too ghost.
Bro's gone ghost for sure.
Yeah, we're gonna see. All right, guys, we're gonna get out of here. We appreciate everybody who's tapping in. Again, it's Matt and Alexis, always trying to bring you what's new.
And what's blue.
There we are. Next week, tap in with us. We got a great game this weekend. And then I think, hold on, do we have a midweek game? Do we have Champions League back? I think we do. Playing
20-something, like 26 or something.
Is that what it is?
I'm also going to put or show our Insta, guys. You guys should follow our Insta page. It's Start or Bench CFC.
Start or Bench CFC. Come tap in with us. We got great clips from these episodes where you guys are commenting and making the show even better. We don't play Wednesday, January 21st. Okay, so that's not next week.
No, it is.
That is next week. So yeah.
Oh,
so
really?
Next Friday we're gonna be talking about. We played Paphos, so it shouldn't be too difficult of a challenge. But we'll see. This is back to those rotations.
City got Semenyo and Mark Gahey.
It's nuts.
That's a problem.
It's nuts. We need stuff, but I don't think we're getting anything in the January transfer window.
No.
We'll see. Reese fan, I might be live later today, but definitely for the Manchester Derby tomorrow. We're going live, and then African Cup of Nations for those of you who follow me on the EPP watch parties. Tap in this weekend. I'm gonna be off. I'm gonna be headed to Vegas to play in a men's league. Pray for me.
Hey,
that's like the old school tournaments, twice a day. For a couple days. I don't know if my knees can handle it, but we'll see. I'll try to capture some stuff so we can have some fun stuff to show next week. Otherwise, we will see you tomorrow. Come on, Chelsea. Keep the blue flag flying high. We will see you tomorrow after that Chelsea.